Hey everyone, thanks for joining Miss Hanson's reading. Today we're going to be reading Owl Moon by Jane Yolen, illustrated by John Schoenher. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still at giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I could hear it through the woolen cap Pa had pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out, trains and dogs, for a real long time, and when their voices faded away, it was as quiet as a dream. We walked on towards the woods, Pa and I. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and the little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, and my short, round shadow bumped after me. Why do you think she had to run to keep up with him? So our two main characters in the story right now is the little girl and Pa. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I had been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. All right, reader, what do you think owling is? Why do you think they're so excited to go owling? What can we tell by the word owling that helps us figure out what would it be? All right, let's keep reading. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited. He looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo," the sound of a great horned owl. "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." What do you think it means when they say, the moon made his face into a silver mask? How could the moon make his face look like silver? Could it be that it's reflecting on his face, making it turn white? I think so. Again he called out, and then again. After each call, he was silent, and for a moment we both listened, but there was no answer. Pa shrugged, and I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said sometimes there's an owl, and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold, as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back, and my nose and the top of my cheeks felt cold and hot at the same time. But I never, ever said a word. If you go owling, you have to be quiet and make your own heat. What do you think that means, make your own heat? If I was looking at the scenery, I could guess that it is very cold there, and that to make her own heat, she could do a variety of things. Do you guys have any ideas? Maybe rub her hands together. Maybe move her body around, do some jumping jacks. That's a good way to make some heat when you're feeling really cold. We went into the woods. The shadows were the blackest things I had ever seen. They stained the white snow. My mouth felt furry, for the scarf over it was wet and warm. I didn't ask what kind of things hide behind black trees in the middle of the night. When you go owling, you have to be brave. The shadows are the blackest things she's ever seen. Have you ever noticed that a shadow can turn things into dark? When we came to a clearing in the dark woods, the moon was high above us. It seemed to fit exactly over the center of the clearing, and the snow below it was whiter than the milk in a cereal. I sighed, and Pa held up his hand at the sound. I put my mittens over the scarf over my mouth and listened hard. And then Pa called, "Hoo, hoo, hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo!" I listened and looked so hard. My ears hurt, and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call out again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. "Hoo, hoo, hoo! Hoo, hoo!" Pa almost smiled. Then he called back, "Hoo, hoo, hoo! Hoo!" Just as if he and the owl were talking about supper, or about the woods, or the moon, or the cold. I took my mitten off the scarf, off my mouth, and I almost smiled too. The owl call came closer, from high up in the trees. On the edge of the meadow, nothing in the meadow moved. All of a sudden, an owl shadow, part of the big tree shadow, lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. The shadow hooted again. Do you see the owl in the picture? If I look real hard, I can see it way up here at the top. Pa turned on his big flashlight and caught the owl just as it was landing on a branch. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Then the owl pumped its great wings and lifted off the branch, like a shadow without sound. It flew back into the forest. "Time to go home," Pa said to me. I knew then I could talk. I could even laugh out loud, but I was a shadow as we walked home. And when you go owling, you don't need words or warm or anything but hope. That's what Pa says. The kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon. Do you think that this was a good memory that the little girl had with her Pa? I bet it's something that they do frequently so that they can create more memories like that. Thank you for reading with me today. I hope to see you next time.